whenever a reserve study come out, a reserve study is when an engineer group or kind of a appraisal group come in, look at all the capital items like a boiler or a chiller or the elevator or, balconies, and they look at the condition of the balconies, and they say, okay, a balcony should last 20 years, and you have probably 5 years remaining of life, right?
Mhm.
And this is how much you need to put away each month or each year so you can replace that major item.
Mhm.
So that reserve study tells HOAs how much they need to put away each year. So when that item comes up to being replaced, they have that in the bank, right?
Mhm.
So for example, I have 100 balconies. I have 5 years left. Let's say it costs $100,000 to replace them.
Mhm.
So the reserve study says, oh, okay, you have 3 years left. It costs 100,000 to replace them. You need to put 33,000 away each year.
Mhm.
Um, Now, overall, the recommended payment or contribution to the reserves is going to be a lot higher than 10%.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have yet to see a reserve study that asks for an annual contribution to reserves less than
Mhm.
10%.
Yeah.
So in essence, if everybody's trying to follow the reserve study, it's going to be way more than 10%, Lynn.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting
Yeah.
because when we think about single family homes, people think, oh, condos, assessments. But when you own a home, you have to fix it over time, whether it be the roof or, you have to put in windows or whatever you have to do to your home. You paint it, you do things to keep up with your home. So they look at assessments. Oh, they don't want assessments. Buyers are a little nervous about that. But in any home that you own, there's things you have to do over time. I feel like with the reserve study, once it's all settled down, it's going to create such a healthy environment for the condo market because it's been such a fear for condo buyers to have to get an assessment. And now that will be not eliminated, but it'll be less likely when everything is in the reserve study and they're reserving for it on a monthly basis. It's the same thing as upkeeping on a single family home. They have to maintain the building and they're going to be able to pay it over time rather than having these larger assessments come. So I feel like in the long run, it's going to really normalize the condo market and eliminate that fear of these large assessments coming.
You're right. Florida is doing it right. They really are. Um, you're going to go through a 2 to 3 year transition period from now to 2028. But at the end, when you buy a home, you don't think about how much the air conditioning unit's going to cost to
Mhm.
be replaced in 15, 20 years. Or, if you're buying an older home, what about the sewer lines and things of that nature, foundation shift. Unfortunately, Florida is being hit with, some storms, and my heart goes out to everybody
Mhm.
that's affected by the recent storm,
Mhm.
Helene. And but with a condo, it does affect the condo building just like a regular home, but condos are built a lot more sturdier. They have to have a lot higher pressure in their concrete and the footings.
Mhm.
Um, if you live in the second, third floor, you're going to stay dry. It's a
Mhm.
good thing about condos.
Mhm.
The first floor, a lot of first floors are mainly lobby, or some are garage. So
Mhm.
they hit your cars in garage, but that first floor of residential is 14 feet high,
Mhm.
from the street. So they're
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pluses there. But going back to the reserves, yes, you are correct. When we're past this moment in time, in 25, 26, and 28, those condos in Florida are going to be set. Whereas people still in homes, they don't think about, okay, how much does it cost to replace my windows, things of that nature, my roof. That has a 4% deductible, which in most cases it's 10, 15, about 10,000. So no, there's a lot of benefits to owning a condo.
There are, yeah. And that's why I feel like it's so important to, educate ourselves and learn how to properly finance them and purchase them, list or buy side, because there's so much opportunity there. And they really do make great homes for buyers. So we want to have the information.